Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 12th February 2024. So first of all, we are going to take PDF of Hindu. Okay, I am taking here Delhi edition and we are going to pick out the articles. And I will be giving you the dimensions like how can you think from the single subject point of view. Okay, and from that single subject, we are moving to the other subjects and we are interlinking the subjects. Okay, so in this way, we will be having a multi-dimensional approach regarding that so-and-so topic. So this approach is very important to clear your mains. So whenever you are preparing for your UPSC, so don't prepare separately for mains and prelims. So you need to have an integrated approach because nowadays the trend in UPSC has been changed. And UPSC is using prelims as a weapon to eliminate as many students as possible in the first stage of examination itself. And it is giving you the questions which are based on analysis. Traditionally, okay, like before 3 to 4 years, the paper pattern was entirely different when compared to the paper pattern, this 2023 and 2022 pattern. Okay, so to clear examination, you need to have even a multi-dimensional approach. So that thing that we are going to learn through this current affairs classes or Hindu analysis series. And if you are watching this Rathods IAS analysis, please do watch daily. And I can say that 100% is sure that if you are watching this analysis for continuously for 5 to 6 months, then you can develop this skills of thinking multi-dimensional manner. It is my promise. Okay, so now let's get started without wasting any time. So this is front page of Hindu. So one important article in the front page here is direct tax kitty picks up pace up to 20.25% by February 10. So what is the keyword? Keyword here is direct tax. Keyword is direct tax. And one more thing is don't waste much time. Okay, because you will be getting just 7 to 8 articles which are relevant from our UPSC point of view. Don't waste your time in reading irrelevant articles. So irrelevant articles, with that you are not going to gain anything. So here time is very precious because you have a very lengthy syllabus. Okay, and time management is very important. Okay, that you can learn here. So now let us see the dimensions like what you have to think from this article point of view. So it is talking about direct tax. So where can we fit this article in our syllabus? So in our syllabus in GS paper 3, it starts with your economy, right? So in economy, you will be having a chapter that is called as taxation. So in this taxation, we will be studying about two types of taxes. So one is direct tax and second one is indirect tax. Here one tip I want to give, like how can you read this economy is, it is a both mix of static plus dynamic. So here you have to focus on current affairs from this economy point of view. So starting means you have to know like what is this direct tax. So what is advantages and disadvantages of this direct tax, and even you can know like what are the examples of direct tax. And the dynamic part, you have to know that yes, there is increased collection of direct tax. Okay, so in this way you can connect your static with dynamic. Okay, so this is the one thing that you have to read this economy. So now let us see what are the things that you have to see, like dimensions. You have to see what is the meaning of direct tax and what are the differences between direct tax and indirect tax. Okay, and you have to see examples. So examples are also very important. Why? Because not in UPSC, but if you are writing any state public service examination, you may get a question like they will be giving the different types of tax and they will be asking you to identify which of the above are direct taxes, which are the above are indirect taxes. So in this way also you can get question. To answer such type of questions, yes, you have to know the examples. And you have to know what are the disadvantages of this direct tax and advantages of direct tax. Here one more dimension you have to see from entire taxation is, so why government is imposing tax? Okay, why? You have to see the reasons. And after knowing reasons, you have to analyze significance. And next one is, after collecting the tax, so what government is going to do? What is the outcome? Okay, so all these are the important dimensions. Clear? Yes or no? And we are going to see this topic in detail. Okay. And even you can also add one more dimension. So this is entirely from your economy, right? So now let us connect with the other subjects. For example, in GS paper 1 and GS paper 2, you have this topics called as society and social issues. So whether this tax concept is new? No. So even if you go back to ancient period or medieval period and even during Mughal period, yes, at that time kings, they used to collect taxes. For even if you see during the time of Mughals, especially there was even tax collected for the pilgrimage. For example, jizya tax. Yes or no? So you have to see taxation system in India. You have to see taxation system in India during our ancient period, modern period and medieval period, etc. So that is a one dimension. And you have to see what is the impact of this taxation on this society. Because of imposition of taxes by the British government during modern period, that led to lots of riots. Yes or no? That led to lots of riots. For example, we have peasant movements, we have tribal movements, etc. So these are one example. And next, you can also think about the present times. So to evade tax, so in this taxes paying, so we have two types of concepts: tax avoidance, avoidance of tax, and evasion of tax. There is avoidance of tax and evasion of tax. Okay, evasion is legally correct. Evasion is legally correct and it is illegal. Avoidance is illegal. So many of them, they are earning money but they don't want to pay the tax. So that income will comes under black money. Yes or no? That income comes under black money. So black money is nothing but the color of money is not black, but whatever the income they are getting, they are not paying the tax to government. That money is called as black money. So how this black money is converted into white money? And here again there are some other concepts like hawala transactions. Okay, they are called as hawala transactions. And we have money laundering. So these are our concepts even we can connect to the tax. And recently, if you are talking about direct tax, I will change the color of the pen. So if you are talking about direct tax, we have one example, that is corporate tax. So corporate tax is a tax which is paid by industries, factories, companies to government. For example, whenever at individual level, for example, I am getting so and so income. So based on income, I am paying tax to government. So this tax which is paid by this so and so individual, that is called as personal income tax, PIT in short. For example, I am running a company or I am running a factory. So from this factory, I am getting so and so income. So for that income, I am paying tax to government. So this organization which is paying tax to government, it is called as corporate tax. Okay, so there is a policy that double avoidance. Okay, double avoidance agreement. Okay, so there is a concept called as double tax avoidance. So what is the meaning of double tax avoidance? Double tax avoidance is nothing but, for example, my company, okay, I will take one more slide. So I have a company or a factory, okay. So this company which is present in country 1, and I have branches, okay, branches of this same company, same name in the second country. I am paying the tax to the government. I am paying the tax to the government in country 1. So this tax is corporate tax. And I am having even the branches of my company in other countries. I am not going to pay the tax in another country. Okay, where the branches are there. For example, let me take in country 1 the corporate taxes. For example, let us take 20%. In country 2, there is a tax percentage that is 10%. And for example, let us take, I also have the branch is in other country where tax I have to pay to government is 0%. So according to double tax agreement, so if I am paying tax in one country, there is no need of paying tax in another country. So now I will be paying tax in this third country where the tax slab is 0, and I will be not paying tax to the country 1 and country 2. Then what happened? There will be the loss to this country 1 and country 2 because these taxes are providing revenue to the government. And remember, corporate tax is one such a tax which is giving the huge bulk of revenue of government. So because of this, to avoid this, okay, base erosion. So this concept is called as base erosion. This concept is called as base erosion. There is erosion of tax or revenue to the government in the country 1 and country 2. So to avoid this, so wherever you are establishing your branches in the parent country, so this is the country 1 where I started my branch. So this is my home country. So in that country you have to pay minimum alternative corporate tax. MAT or minimum alternative tax of 30%. So this concept which came up in year around 2020. Okay, that is a minimum alternative tax. So now this minimum alternative tax is also a type of direct tax. Clear? So all these are the dimensions that you have to think from this direct tax point of view. So first one is what is the differences, examples, disadvantages, advantages. So why government is imposing tax, what is significance, what will be the outcome, and later on you have to see what is the impact on society, what is the impact on the other people, okay, and impact even on other countries. So whenever tax is increased, then the cost of production will be also increased. So whenever this cost of production of the goods is increasing, we have to see whether it will be competitive in international market or not. So in this way, we can also see the impact on trade, especially international trade, which includes both imports and as well as exports. Okay, and you have to see this topic called as tax avoidance and tax evasion. So what is this double tax avoidance? What is this base erosion concept? Are you getting the point? So in this way, you have to read any topic. So if you understand this concept from economy, yes, hit the like button. Don't forget to leave the session without hitting the like button. Yes, now let us move on to the notes of this topic. Okay, I came up with some notes so that you can understand about what is this direct tax. So if you want to get these notes, you can join the Telegram channel. Link is given in description box. So now let us see this first topic. It is about direct tax kitty picks up pace. So that means nothing but there is increased direct tax collection. So this article says that there is increased direct tax collection. So India's net direct tax collection, which had been increased over last month. If you are comparing with the January month, now in this February month, there is increased direct tax collections by 20.25%. That's it. So there is even in this direct taxes, we have examples like income tax, that is personal income tax, Okay, we have corporate tax, we have gift tax, we have capital gains tax, we have minimum alternative tax. So here personal income tax, which is increased collection by 26.94%, and this corporate tax is 13.6%, okay, out of this direct tax collection in this month. So what is a direct tax? Direct tax is nothing but this is the tax which is levied, which is imposed on the taxpayer directly or any company directly, okay. So here which organization is responsible? It is very important. That is nothing but Central Board of Direct Taxes. So which is that organization? Central Board of Direct Taxes. Central Board of Direct Taxes, it is responsible for levying and as well as collecting of these direct taxes. And taxpayer, they will be paying the government direct tax for variety of reasons. For example, on their property. So every year we will be, if you are having a home, you will be paying property tax. Okay, so that is also one example of this direct tax. And this one is personal property tax, income tax or asset tax, gift tax, capital gain tax, etc. So they are some examples of this direct tax. And this one is direct tax is one of the important source for the revenue. So why taxation is imposed? Yes, government need to go for development and resource distribution. Okay, it has to manage inequality in the society so that it is collecting from the rich and it will be redistributing to the poor. So rich, how they are paying, that is in the form of taxes. So in taxes we have two types as usual, direct and indirect. Direct is one important source of revenue for the government, and even government is coming up with lots and lots of schemes. For example, to alleviate poverty and to address unemployment, to decrease hunger, to improve the health, and for women empowerment, everything. So government is providing many schemes. So for that schemes, where the money is getting for the government, it is through the taxes. And what are the advantages of this direct tax? So first one is it will be helpful for economic balance. So first one is it is helpful for economic balance. So government create tax bands depending upon individual's income. Okay, so based on that we are focusing on economic and social balance. And next one here is it also focusing on ensuring equality in the society. So in our Indian society, inequality is very high. So I don't know whether you know this fact or not. So out of 100% of population, so here 1% of population, they are having 90% of assets. They are super rich people. They are super rich people. And remaining 99% of population, they are holding 10% of property together. So you can see this much of inequality that is present in India. Okay, so to ensure equality, yes, government need to interfere and collect the taxes. And next one is it also gives certainty. So direct tax provides both the government and taxpayers the sense of certainty, because whatever the amount that is paid and that is collected, it is known to both the government and as well as taxpayers. And it will be very much helpful to address the inflation problem also. So what is this inflation? Inflation is nothing but whenever there is rise of prices of goods and services in the market, that condition is called as inflation. So because of inflation, that will lead to poverty, that will lead to unemployment, that will lead to hunger, that will lead to malnutrition. Yes, all these problems again need to be addressed by government. So that is the one thing that's said here. And next one is even this tax is very helpful to make government accountable, because here who are paying the tax? The people who are rich, based on their income, they are paying tax. And now those people, they will ask questions to government like what you are doing with the money that you are collecting. So that government is now accountable. And what are the disadvantages that can be easily avoided? Yes, I said about this concept of tax avoidance and tax evasion, right? Tax avoidance means I'm not paying tax. Tax evasion means there are some loopholes. I will be using that loopholes and I will be not paying the tax. So this tax evasion is legally correct, but tax avoidance is illegal. Okay, so here not everyone wants to pay their taxes, so that they will be finding the loopholes in the laws or the acts which are present. Okay, for example, there is no need of paying taxes, especially from this agriculture sector. For example, if I don't want to pay the tax, I will be showing that my income that is coming from agriculture sector. So I will be diverting my money to agriculture, like getting lands. Especially I will go for buying of agriculture lands, and I will be saying that my income that I am getting from agriculture. So in that way, tax evasion is happening in India. And next one is tax slabs or arbitrary. So there are different slabs. Okay, so they are not correct. And next one is it obstructs the growth. So high taxes disincentivize the people, and they will not going for saving and investing, right? So because of this, the economy of the country may be suffer, and it also obstructs, it is stop the growth of businesses, growth of industries, and it is causing harm to entire economy. Yes or no? And next one is inconvenience. So direct tax, which has the significant disadvantages of pinching the taxpayer. So when a lump sum is taken from his pocket, he feels that his sense of his heart and money is taken away by the government. So because of this, it will be quite inconvenient for the taxpayer. Okay, for example, if I am getting a salary of like 50,000 rupees, so I have to pay tax to the government. So I will be thinking like I am daily getting up at 4 o'clock and not taking care of my children, and I am focusing on this, my career, and I am taking classes, but why I have to pay the tax? So in this way, this type of intention that is seen with lots of people. Okay, so because of this, they will be always searching for this routes to evade the tax. Clear? And now let us move on to the newspaper back. So this is front page, nothing more about this article from our front page, and even the city page there is nothing much important. And even today in the states page also I found none of the articles which are relevant. So you can leave the states page also today. So most of the articles are political articles, so don't get into that politics. So whatever I am discussing, it is more than enough. No need to even see other articles. So just go to that articles after one's class is done. So in this editorial page, there are many articles important, and we are going to discuss them thoroughly. So first article, it is about a privileged strategic partnership without a Gulf. So this article is very important because nowadays there is increased relationship between India and UAE. This article is talking about India-UAE relations. So why does India-UAE relations is in news? So first you have to know why it is in news. So if you know why, you can understand, yes, what is going to happen in future. So what already had happened, so you can know that. And even whenever you are writing your mains answers, you can write why it is in news as introduction, and this will be very useful. And examiner can understand like, yes, you are following current affairs, yes, you know what is happening around you. You are a perfect person for UPSC or to be an IAS officer or IPS officer. So in this way, here you can create your image in the paper, okay, in the imagination of examiner that you are a right person when you know the present context. So why India-UAE relations is in news? Because our Prime Minister, he is going to visit UAE soon. And even yesterday's class also we discussed that our Prime Minister in his visit to UAE is going to inaugurate largest temple, that is the second Hindu temple in UAE. So first was in Dubai, okay, and second now it is in Abu Dhabi. Okay, so here our PM, he is going to inaugurate largest Hindu temple. And we discussed about the features of this Hindu temple in our yesterday's class. So if you have not watched yesterday's class, so please go back to yesterday's class and please watch that class. Okay, so this Hindu temple is the largest, and for the construction of this temple, UAE government donated 27 acres of land. And this temple, which is mainly built by using Rajasthan pink sandstone, and has been extensively decorated outside, and they came up with the art or carvings of some events which are seen in this Shiva Purana and Ramayana, Mahabharata, etc. And they're extremely very good. Okay, so the first important thing here you have to know about this Hindu temple inauguration, which is going to be done by our Prime Minister in his visit to UAE. And here you have to see some dimensions. Like first you have to see map of UAE and which country sharing boundary. And you have to see like nearby water bodies. So it is very important because you can get a prelims based question here. And you can also get prelims based question from this temple and this temple architecture point of view also. So you have to be prepared with this topic. And next one is you have to see areas of cooperation between India and UAE. And especially you have to know about recent developments from past 5 years. Okay, recent developments from past 5 years. And here you can see like what is the trade. Okay, what is the status of energy security in India? So how India is dependent on this UAE for energy security. And you have to see like what is the strategic partnership that we have. You have to know about strategic partnership with India and UAE. And one more important area, there is a high chance of getting question is, so in which organizations both India and UAE they are members. So it is also very important because recently we have lots and lots of developments in this India-UAE relations, especially regarding the different organization level. And even you have to see like what are the challenges between India-UAE relations, and finally you can think about way forward or measures. Because many of you they also want like Indian foreign officer, foreign services, right? So many of you want to get into this Indian foreign services. So for example, if you are appointed as an embassy member, so you have to focus on this diplomatic relations. So from this point of view also you have to know how India is having the relation with the other countries. Okay, so this UPSC is also conducting examination for even IAS, IPS along with this Indian foreign services, right? So you are going to be the Indian diplomats. So from now onwards you have to think diplomatically, and whenever India is coming relationship with other country, you have to know what is significance. Okay, because you have to talk about the challenges there and you have to give some measures. So from this point of view you have to focus a lot. So in these areas you can see. Okay, so these are the dimensions that you have to see, and this topic is important from your GS paper 2 under international relations, especially from bilateral relations point of view. This article is at most important. So now let us see this topic in detail. So in yesterday's class we already discussed about the temple, and we are not going to see that once again because I don't want to waste your time. Time is precious. We can't get the time back. So one thing I want to express here is from last 3 days we didn't post analysis from February 2nd, 3rd and 4th. So from that day onwards, from that event onwards, we are not getting the views, not more than even 3,000 views. So earlier we used to get like 7,000 to 8,000 views. Okay, so many students they lost faith on me, but I want to make a promise that we are going to come up with this analysis daily without any delay or without any stopping in between. Okay, so please come back and please watch this, because this type of analysis you can't get anywhere. Okay, so think that about my consistency and come back. Okay, so it is my request, and please do share this videos to reach as many students as possible. So if I'm getting the more views, more likes and more comments, so this will be encouraging me so that I will be coming up with much more interesting and knowledgeable content for my students. Okay, so I'm thinking about my students more than my children. So understand this and come back. Yes, now let us see this topic, that is about India-UAE relations. So Prime Minister is going to visit this UAE soon, that is on February 30th, that is tomorrow. Okay, and day after tomorrow. So he will be on 2-day visit to UAE. So in this in this visit, so he is going to inaugurate temple, and this temple which is built by Bocha Sanvasi Sri Akshar Purushottam Swami Narayan Sanstha. So remember this Swami Narayan Sanstha, it is very long name, okay, in Abu Dhabi. So the first is in Dubai. So first Hindu, so it is a second Hindu temple. It is not the first Hindu temple, it is very important. So first Hindu temple which already built in Dubai, and this is second Hindu temple in Abu Dhabi now. So this temple which is built on 27 acres plot of land, and this is donated by UAE President. And the second important thing here is second big Hindu temple to be inaugurated in UAE in the recent years. The first already done in 2022, okay. So it is in Dubai. It is very important. And if you see what are the pillars of the ties between India and UAE, so this part is very important from your mains. So both India and UAE, they co-launched this global green credit initiative in the context of climate change. So in the context of climate change in this COP28, so both they came up with this global green credit initiative. And another special strong pillar between India and UAE is economic partnership. So if you see the bilateral trade, that is trade between these two countries, India and UAE, which had been increased by $85 billion, okay, $85 billion in 2022 to 2023. And in this way here, UAE, which is become like third largest trading partner, and India is second largest export destination. And UAE is also the fourth largest overall investor in India. And next one is India-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. So this had been signed in 2022 itself. Okay, and this agreement, after signing this, yes, there is drastical increasing of trade and services between India and UAE. So on February 1st, 2024, Indian government also approved signing and ratification of bilateral investment treaty. So in short, we can call it as BIT, bilateral investment treaty. Okay, so that will be very much helpful to improving economic engagement, and will be helpful for manufacturing, and as well as it is helpful for foreign direct investment. And even we have this RuPay card, okay. So RuPay card that we are using, like we are focusing on digital payment system, right? So we are using this RuPay card, and this RuPay card is one of the important component of India's digital payment system or digital public infrastructure. So here even UAE is also accepting that. Again, we are also focusing on rupee. Rupee is also can be transacted in Dubai's airport. And if you see regarding energy security, so here UAE is a part of West Asia, and this West Asia which is having the good resources of crude oil. If anyone wants to become rich, they will go and they will dig and they will be getting this oil. Okay, that much high presence of oil that is seen in this West Asia. Right, so here an agreement which had been signed between India Strategic Petroleum Reserves Limited. So here what is this concept of strategic petroleum reserves? So as you all know that in India we have very less or low oil reserves. Crude oil reserves are very less. For example, we have in Assam Tigboy, and very less reserves that is seen in this Godavari Krishna river basin, right? Okay. So what in the Bombay High also we have limited resource. So here I can see like India is dependent on the other country for this crude oil. So we are getting imports from other countries. For example, we are getting this crude oil at a discounted price from Russia. And even we used to get from Iran, but because of this fear of CAATSA, that is Countering American Adversaries Through Sanction Act, we made our imports from Iran zero, and now we are searching for the alternatives. So here we have very less crude oil, so that we are importing the crude oil, right? So we have to store them in some places. We have 3 strategic petroleum reserves, so there we are storing oil, okay, crude oil. For example, if there is any situation which has happened, means if there is crude oil deficiency or decreasing of this means entire transportation will got stalled, right? So to avoid that, we will be having some reserves. We are storing the crude oil, that is called as strategic petroleum reserves. So let me know places we have the strategic petroleum reserves in India in comment box. Don't forget about this. Right, so we have agreement with Indian Strategic Petroleum Reserves Limited and Abu Dhabi National Oil Company to invest in this strategic crude oil storage facility in Mangalore. So I gave you one hint. So one strategic reserve is located in Mangalore. And let me know others. Next one is defense and security cooperation, and people to people ties are also very important in relationship between India and UAE. Yeah, and next one is strategic ties. So India also has numerous strategic partnership investments across the globe. Okay, but none displayed more convergence and mutual respect at all the levels than the one in the UAE. So apart from this, even this article which showed about in which areas we have good partnership. Okay, so in which areas India and UAE are the partners. So here I hope you can see this paragraph is very important. That is strategic ties. I hope you can see that, right? Yes. So here both countries, they are in close coordination because they are the partners of I2, U2. Okay, and even India and UAE are the partners of Quad. Quad which comprising like, that is West Asian Quad. Okay, not Quad. Quad is India, US, Japan and Australia. But in this West Asian Quad, we have 4 countries. Again, India and UAE, US are common. And next we have Israel and UAE. So I2UT is also called as West Asian Quad. And UAE is also very important for this Middle East Europe Economic Corridor, that is IMEC infrastructure project. And next one is India is also aiming to connect Europe. So in that route here, Arabian Peninsula is very important to counter this Chinese Belt and Road Initiative. Okay, so here this strategic ties is also very, very important, and you have to see like UAE is very important for I2U2 and as well as IMEEC. Clear? So these are very, very important things which are given in this article. Let me zoom in. Yeah, next topic is about white paper on economy. So this interim budget is special. Okay, because we are going to have Lok Sabha elections in 2024. And actually in this white paper, our finance minister is comparing our economic condition 10 years ago. Because BJP government came into power, so this is the 10th year. So what are the challenges that were faced by this BJP government whenever it came into power? So it is comparing the economic situation, that is Congress government and BJP government. So we are going to see like what is this white paper, what is significance, but we are not digging into this political things. Okay. So what is important from UPSC point of view, we are going to discuss that. Nothing more, nothing less. Yes. Now let us see this topic, that is conjuring a catharsis. So this article is talking about white paper on Indian economy. So Union Finance Minister presented white paper on Indian economy in Lok Sabha. And the government has announced in Union interim budget that it would come out with white paper to compare economic performance of 10 years of Congress-led government with 10 years of BJP-led government. So they are comparing like how the economic development happened. So what is this white paper? White paper is nothing but it provides information about specific issue to make people aware, like what is the nature and what is the scope of problem and what are the possible ways that are present to resolve that so and so problem. So that is the meaning of this white paper. So it is just giving information to people to know about the problems and solutions simply. And apart from the governments, white paper is often issued by businesses, and not only businesses but even other agencies, other organizations, to showcase their products and how to promote them. So what are the highlights of this white paper here is, so it is like a 58-page white paper and it is having the 3 main parts. So first part is talking about macroeconomic situation, during the 10 years of UPA government. And part 2 provides current status of various corruption scams of UPA government. And next one is how India government turned the economy around. So these are the 3 important parts of this white paper, which is around 58 papers. And next one is what are the objectives of white paper. So first one is it seeks to inform everyone of the nature and extent of governance. So it will helpful for the people to understand what's the nature and extent of governance that they did, and economic and financial crisis that are faced by this India government whenever they came into power in 2014. It also informs about the policies, measures that taken by the present government to restore economy. And will also talks about the importance of national interest, fiscal responsibility, governance, etc. So all these things are present. Okay. I want to ask one question. So please genuinely give your opinion regarding this white paper. So I want to take your opinion, because in interview also you can get this type of questions. So please pause the video and please let me know like what is your opinion. So why this white paper which is introduced by the present government, please let me know fast. I have my personal opinion, but if I said that will become controversy. So please give me your opinion, and based on that I will be giving my opinion in tomorrow's class. Okay, let's come back and let us move to the newspaper back. Yeah, and let us move on to this opinion page. So in this page there is one interesting article. It is about how women can be represented in politics. So this article, I can see there is political ideology, but we are not focusing on that. So it is talking about the case of Rajasthan. So now let us see the dimensions. So this article is talking about women in politics. It is talking about women in politics. So this topic is talking about indirectly women empowerment. Yes or no? It is talking about women empowerment. So here what are the dimensions that you have to think? So what are the dimensions you have to think? The first one is you have to think about data. Like how much percentage of women they are participating in politics. And here you can see like different levels. At the central level, for example in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, how many members are there? And you can see at the state level and at the local level. Apart from this, even you can compare internationally, like especially countries just surrounding India, like even in Pakistan, Sri Lanka, in Bangladesh, and in Nepal. Okay, like that countries. And you can see one more important area is which country is having the highest percentage of women participation in politics. Okay, so this is about the first dimension, that is collection of data. And apart from that, here you can see what are the reasons for the less women they are participating in this politics. What are the reasons? And you have to see like what are the measures can be taken. So here you can add one recent current affairs is reservation for women in Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly bill had been passed and it became an act, but has not been implemented because of lack of census data. So here our present government said that after once we get census data, we are going to implement this 33% of reservation for women. Right? You can add that recent current affairs. And even you have to see what will be the advantages whenever women they are entering into the politics. So all these are the dimensions that you have to think. So this topic is important from GS paper 2 under polity. Yeah, In this polity, you can also see some more dimension like what are the constitutional provisions which are talking about women entry into politics. Okay, and from GS paper 1 point of view, so we have this history, right? So in this history, you have to see what is a woman contribution in the freedom struggle and who are the famous women who participated in this freedom struggle, like for example Jhansi Lakshmi Bai, and you have to think about Sarojini Naidu, and you have to think about Rani Chennamma, okay, and one famous personality is Usha, that is she run All India, she run radio, okay, and you can see like lots and lots of women. And especially you have to focus on women who are in politics after we got independence and their role. For example, Pratibha Patil, and even you can see like great women like Sushma Swaraj. Okay, like that you have to know some important personalities who already participated in the politics and what is their contribution to our country. So like that you can collect some data. So that case studies will be very much helpful to write an essay. Okay, and even in your mains answers you can quote them as examples so that you can enrich your answers. So many students, they don't know like how to enrich their answers and how to present their answers. So in this way, if you are getting some examples and if you are doing some research and collecting this type of data, then I can say like you can enrich your answers 100%. Clear? Yes. Now let us see this article in detail. So this article is talking about women in politics. So recently assembly elections of Rajasthan had done, right? So here author says that in only one way we can increase the women participation, that is to implement quota. So quota is nothing but reservation. So whenever we are providing reservation or quota for women in parliament and state legislative assembly, and this is the only way to increase the political participation. So this is the only one point that is given in this entire article. So there is no need of reading entire article, but the things which are relevant we are going to discuss now. So what is the constitution status of providing quota? Yes, we have fundamental rights of women and men. So these fundamental rights are guaranteed in our part 3 of our Indian Constitution. So please let me know which are the articles. Let me know which are the articles which are talking about fundamental rights. And we have DPSP, which comes under part 4 of Indian Constitution, which also talking about mandatory maternity leave and providing humane working conditions and equal pay for women and men. And this one is even political equality and right to vote, they are guaranteed by Article 325 and 326 of Indian Constitution. And we have this universal adult franchise. That means whoever it may be, like men or women, or what is it, irrespective of education status. So everyone who got 18 years of age, so they have right to vote. And let me know which amendment decreased the age of right to vote to 18. And in 1992, 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, which mandated 1/3 of seats in municipal and Panchayat Raj institutions, they are to be reserved for the women. And the goal of this amendment was to increase the women's participation at the grassroots level, at the villages level and at the villages level like panchayats. And next one is this India also had made a lot of measures to empower women in other areas, for example in marriages, in employment. So even Supreme Court in one famous judgment said that even daughters, they have the right to get the property, that is the right to inheritance. And if you are talking about participation in the politics, so member of parliament, like as per the data which compiled by IP, that is Inter-Parliamentary Union, it said that women, they make up just 14.4% in Lok Sabha. And even the data which is given by Election Commission of India said that women represent just 10.5% of all members of parliament as of October 2021. And in state legislative assemblies, just women MLAs are 9% only. So there is a very less participation of women that is seen in politics. And even if you are talking about global average, India is ranking very, very low. And even India is ranking below than Pakistan, Bangladesh and Nepal. Okay, clear? And if you're talking about what are the reasons why the women participation is very low, so first one is there is prejudice. So ironically, prejudice exists that both men or women are not equal. So men are more capable than women. So this is the prejudice that is present in our society. And about half of the world's population, they feel that men make better political leaders. So this is not my statement, it is a statement which is given by UNDP Gender Social Norms Index. And major one more factor here is familial support, which is given to men rather than women. And next one is role of money power. Yes, if you want to enter into politics, money power is very important. Will you accept it or not? Yes, I will accept it. I don't know whether will you accept it or not. Money power is important. Yes, money plays a very important role to win an election. Okay, 24% of parliamentary seats worldwide, they are held by women. And there are only 10 female heads of government out of possible 193. And this shows that the dearth of women representation in the politics. So there is a very low presentation of women in the politics. And even the unhealthy political environment, for example, so here recent Me Too movement, a journalist Priya Ramani accused Union Minister of State of External Affairs of sexual harassment. And on the reserved seats here at the local level, political leaders, they take positions in the name of their wife. Okay, for example, we have this concept called as Sarpanch Pati or Pati Panchayat phenomena. So it is still continuing in the villages. So these are some important reasons for which I can say like still there is less women participation in the politics. So please let me know what are the measures that can be taken. So measures, it is your homework for today. Okay, so now let us move on to next article. Yes, this is talking about 2023 saw most prisoners on death row in nearly 2 decades. Okay, so here in 2023 high courts confirmed the death sentences of 1% of prisoners whose cases were up for decision. So this is the very lowest confirmation rate by appellate courts since 2000. So since 2000 onwards, this is one of the less confirmation rate. So here this article is talking about death penalty. So now let us see some dimensions that you can think from this article. So in this way also you can get a question. Okay, so why can't we discuss in this dimension? So this article is talking about death penalty. Okay, death penalty is also called as capital punishment. Don't confuse with these two words. So it is also called as capital. So it is also called as capital punishment. This article is important from GS paper 2 under polity. And from society point of view also it is very important. And even from your GS paper 4 ethics point of view also very important. Okay, so it is also important from your GS paper 4 ethics. So now from polity point of view, you have to see what are the laws which are present in India. So you have to see why need of death penalty. So what are the arguments in favor or against? And even you can think about what is the role of judiciary. You can also think about what is the role of judiciary, like Supreme Court, High Court and lower courts. This is the one thing. And from society point of view, what will be the impact? Yeah, one more thing here is you can also see like Supreme Court judgments. So Supreme Court said that this death penalty should be given in rarer of rarest case. It should be given in rarer of rarest case. And you have to see like what is the impact on society, like whether this death penalty is decreasing crime rate. No, not at all. And here you have to see how can we bring change. How can we bring change? So in this bringing of change, we can connect with this ethics. That is, we can bring change through change in attitude. Okay, we can bring change in society by bringing change in the attitude. That is important from your GS paper 4. And you have to see whether this is ethically correct or not. Ethically and morally it is correct or not. So all these are the dimensions that you have to see. And even you can collect data regarding 2023, how many death sentences are seen. So in which cases. Okay, so in this way you can collect the data. So these are the dimensions that you have to think from this article point of view. Okay, that's it. In this text and context, there is article regarding decoding India's economic realities. So it is just talking about comparison between Congress government and India government economic status. So if you want, you can go through this. And in entire news page or in this world page, I found nothing which is important, and even the economy page. So you can directly move on to this science page. Okay, so in this science page, this article, it is about patterns of global warming are more important than its levels. Okay, so we are actually here, this article is saying that, 1 minute, so please let me write the heading. So this article is talking about global warming. So what is the meaning of global? Means throughout the earth. Warming means increasing of temperature. So I can say whether it is increasing of temperature throughout the earth. Yes. So but what is the measure? So according to Paris climate deal, it's saying that 1.5 degrees centigrade of pre-industrial level. Okay, so this article which is saying that it is not about its level. That means how much, it is not about how much degrees, how many degrees of increasing of temperature, but you have to see like what is a pattern. So that means for every 6 months or for every 1 year. So what is the increasing of temperature? So how much degrees? So how much degrees is exactly not important, but how it is changing. So 1 year we will be having El Nino. So 1 year we will be having La Nina. So for since last 4 years we having La Nina. But this year we have El Nino. So how this pattern is changing? So this pattern is important rather than the number. So this is the idea of this article. So what are the important dimensions that you have to see? So first one, you have to see like what is the definition of global warming. You have to see what is the definition of global warming. And the second one is you can see like what are these greenhouse gases and the greenhouse effect. And third one is you have to see like what are the reasons for the increasing of temperature. And you have to see how we are measuring this global warming. So what are the methods of measuring this global warming. And you have to see what are the steps taken. So in these steps you have to see like global steps. We are talking about Green Climate Initiative which came up by this India and UAE, and we have this ISA, and we are talking about decreasing of greenhouse gases emissions, and many countries are talking about carbon neutrality. So you have to know that global initiatives, and at the country level we have INDCs at the national level and at the local level steps. Okay, and you have to see what is the impact of this global warming. Okay, so all these are the dimensions that you have to see. And now let us move back to the notes and let us see the notes. And this topic is important from your environment and ecology. Okay, So many warming records, they were broken in 2023, and we faced lots of extreme climate disasters. For example, we experienced wildfires, and you can collect examples. So please let me know some wildfires examples. And this one is cyclones, droughts and floods. And in this time, the focus of public narrative, often with the participation of scientists. So now they are especially focusing on the new study. So in this new study, they are not focusing on the exact numbers. Okay. So here in the Paris climate deal, we said that so we have to decrease at least 1.5 degrees centigrade of temperature when we are comparing with the pre-industrial level. That means during 1990s. So during 1990s, what are the temperature is there? So to that temperature, we have to decrease it to 1.5 degrees we have to decrease to 1.5 degrees centigrade. Now here scientists are saying that we already crossed that 1.5 degrees centigrade more than this 1990s pre-industrial level. So here they used especially studying of this paleoproxies. So in this methodology of study, they use chemical evidences which are stored in various organic matter. For example, the matter which is stored in corals and as well as stalactites, stalagmites. So these stalactites and stalagmites, they are the depositional structure. Yes or no? Depositional structures, they are formed by groundwater. So this is very important concept in your geography. For example, if there is a limestone here, so whenever groundwater is moving present here, so this limestone which is present in the so what is the calcium which is present in this limestone, that will be get dissolved, and because of that it will be forming this type of structures. This is stalactite and this is stalagmite. Okay, whenever the stalactite and stalagmite are uniting, they will be forming pillars. So these are the structures that you can see in caves, especially these are the depositional features, they are formed by the groundwater. So in the stalactites and the stalagmites in these corals, what are the chemical they are there? So they had been studied and they compared these chemicals, and in this study they found that yes, already we crossed this increased temperature of 1.5 degrees when we are comparing with that of this pre-industrial level. Clear? So even the amount and distribution of the monsoon of 2023 had been changed. So now in 2023 we had this El Nino. El Nino, it is unusual pattern. It is because of global warming and is having impact on Indian monsoon. So accurate predictions of warming patterns is very important now. It is very helpful to manage climate change impacts. So now what are the predictions we have? These predictions are need to be adapted to changing seasons and the harm they cause to the lives, livelihood and economies. So we have to focus on the accurate prediction. It is very important now. So this is the thing which mainly said by this article, and I am thinking that I have to give you daily one mains question. So today's mains question is, despite such economic growth, women's participation in India's economy, polity and society has not kept in pace. Enumerate. Enumerate means just list out the reasons. Okay, so try to write answer for this question, the post in the comment box. So these are some important articles that appear in our today's Hindu newspaper, and now I will show like where can you get the notes of this class. So this is the Telegram channel, Rathods IAS classes. So here you can join, and I will be also providing this PPT that I am showing. Okay, like the dimensions part also I will be sharing from today onwards, so that you will be making the notes after one's class is done. Okay, so that's it. And this is our YouTube channel, Rathods IAS Academy. Do subscribe to this channel for sure. And this is our website. So here we are providing lots and lots of courses. So if you are facing problem in understanding the concepts, or if you are facing any difficulty in reading subject, so you can take the courses, and the cost of this course are very less and very affordable. So do check the prices, and for economy it is just 3000 rupees, and for history it is just 3200 rupees only. So take that courses if you are facing problem. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this class. So if you really like this class, hit the like button, and please share your valuable suggestions in the comment box, and do share this video to your friends, and do subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy. And thank you so much for watching, and come back again in tomorrow's class. Thank you so much.